Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching The Scariest Cow Ever Created. The story of the Warden, and of course this was created by Minecraft.
Today, we're discussing the horrifying origins of the scariest mob in Minecraft history.
Alright?
I speak, of course, of this.
Oh my goodness.
The scariest cow I've ever created.
Oh, come now, don't be absurd. This cow is harmless, right? Right?
Oh my goodness.
Adding a nasty new mob to your video game is a very delicate process, and I should know, I'm a very delicate man. When it came to making the Warden, the idea was simple.
A horror experience.
That got me.
It's meant to kind of
Seriously got
evoke
me.
those original memories and feelings of the first night in Minecraft.
My favorite thing about the Warden is the mystery. We don't know much about its history or where it was before or where it's going.
Beautiful, grotesque, and scary.
And also a big fan of introducing you to the game over screen.
I also kind of want to say misunderstood.
The Warden we all know and love today is a big, blind, burly beast that is sound and smell sensitive. The idea for this mob spawned during the development of 2020's Nether update.
We were super excited about that particular thing with a mob that can't see.
We really wanted to create an experience where the player is surrounded by this presence, a creature that was kind of stalking you in the dark.
Doesn't that sound like fun? Well, no. But the team got to work anyway on a mob tentatively entitled The Stalker.
We really wanted to create a creature visually that it was asymmetrical. It was just going to be a mob that could spawn anywhere deep underground.
It will follow you, but if you can be fully quiet, it will not.
Great idea, but chase mechanics turned out to be tricky.
The stalker was taller than even an enderman. The caves can be a little tight sometimes, or maybe the player might mine just a small hallway. The stalker can't really chase you.
So escape was possible. Hooray!
What if it could squeeze through those hallways that players mine into, and that way you don't feel safe?
Oh, goody.
Very terrifying.
Thankfully, someone cornered Brandon in a Mojang Studios hallway and talked him out of it.
We kind of need a place for this mob, giving a safe space for players to be able to choose, because not everyone is going to enjoy a horror experience.
We started to talk about this place we would call the Deep Dark.
Ah, the Deep Dark. A moody new biome for this moody new developing mob. Although the Warden's second design turned out a little...
Oh my
What's
goodness.
the word? Ah, yes, traumatizing.
The Hollow Stalker 2.0.
It was very creepy, and like this weird, teethy looking thing just looked like human flesh.
One of the things that we came to is this idea of trypophobia, which is the fear of holes.
Not to be confused with brandophobia, which is my fear of Brandon ever pitching that idea again.
The sounds are very unsettling, even more unsettling than the sounds we currently have for the Warden.
That's terrible.
So we took all the elements we liked from the Hollowed and the Stalker and got started on the development of the Warden.
You definitely see things from both of them.
The Hollowed eventually became the Warden with its body shape. We had to create these horns that were inspired by certain insects that have like antennae that would catch vibrations.
This mob was going to be blind, and it was going to have to use its other senses to be able to track down the player.
The Warden uses its senses of smell and sound to track intruders. So no matter how quiet you are, eventually it will sniff you out.
An angry neighbor if you would trespass on the neighbor's garden without approval.
My neighbors usually just complain about my love of late 90s gangster rap. Anyway, the Warden has even more ways of discovering you. Explore the Deep Dark's ancient cities, which I'm sure are only abandoned because they were too nice to live in, and you'll find skulk blocks everywhere.
We designed the scope to be some kind of warning to players.
Strike one, the shriek goes off. That should be the indication for most players that they can start running now. It was very important to us that it wasn't just that you made a sound and the Warden immediately emerged.
We're designing the scope family and the Warden. We took a lot of inspiration from Black Opal, like the gemstone, that looked like starlight, like stars in the night.
I'll never look at a starry night without weeping again. Anything else to add to the horror?
There's
The
the
pulsating
Warden.
darkness that comes in, all these blue parts
what
of
is
the
that?
Warden start to
Now
glow,
what?
and that is what triggers the fear.
Really starting to wish this episode was about the cow.
This was back when we were prototyping this darkness effect, literally just the cow walking in caves, making the lights flicker.
So the poor cow was just your guinea pig. How dare you?
When we added this
No!
mouth, for me that was when we found the balance. It is a bit cute at the same time, right?
Right.
It is like something between a horror creature, but it also has a sadness. It feels a bit lonely.
Also relatable. The sound effects for the Warden, Skulks, and Deep Dark were all key elements of the lore and feeling of this new experience. Oh.
And then with the layers of effects, it became like... Warden's heartbeat, that's recorded my heartbeat with a contact microphone.
Oh, so the heartbeat is actually his heart. He recorded his heartbeat, and that's what this heartbeat is. Oh, that's... Like, whenever you get close to Warden, you hear those heartbeats. Apparently, he recorded the sound of his heartbeat and then add that to the game. So his heartbeat is in the game. So your heartbeat that you hear was his heart.
That's the story of the Warden, a blind, sad, scary-looking mob that lives in the ancient cities of the Deep Dark and who you may not want to encounter.
A testament to the Warden is how quickly it got adopted by the community as a very important mob.
Even if everyone seemed to be quite terrified of you, you're still very appreciated.
Aww. Unless this episode was so terrifying that Mojang Studios never lets us make an episode again. See you next time.
Oh my god! Why do they have to do that? Bro, that's so scary. Let's not stand around.
There's a monster waiting for us all in the end. A terrifying sky beast that defies description. But
Right.
if I don't describe it, I don't get paid. So let's give it a go. It's a purple-eyed, fire-breathing...
It's a dragon.
Well, yes, that's a simpler way of putting it. But the actions of the creature are truly epic.
It growls, it flies.
Oh, okay, great, yeah. We'll just call the episode The Story of How We Made the Growly Fly, shall we?
The story of the Ender Dragon!
What are the origins of this dragon? Obviously, it's not based on a real animal, because, as we all know, all the real-world dragons went extinct in the late 90s. So what are its defining characteristics?
I would say aggressive, lonely, but eternal.
A big mob, like it's nothing you've seen before in Minecraft.
And also one of the most detailed mobs. It has like 20 segments in its tail and like stuff on top of that.
And as for its sounds,
Growl, wing flap, and growl again.
hey, you'd sound pretty angry too if you had to live in a vast, empty dimension with no one but Endermen for company. No offense to our millions of Endermen viewers, but you lot are boring.
Well, actually, the Ender Dragon and Enderman, they are fighting each other. They
man.
don't like each other.
Wait, what?
It's a mystery.
Solve the mystery! Tell us why!
I know the secret on why there's so many Endermen in the end, but I'm not gonna tell you.
You're bluffing. Well, it could be because the Ender Dragon is guarding something.
Is it guarding something? I think that's a question.
You lot do understand the point of this show is to give us exclusive facts about the mobs, right? Oh, very well. Let's go back to where it all began. The year was 2011. Minecraft had just turned 2. And like all proud parents, we were starting to get bored of its company. So we introduced an update that changed everything.
Before the adventure update and after the adventure update, the game had changed a lot.
Come on, guys, let's see. This was 1 year ago. So they made the story about 1 year. So they made the story 1 year ago.
We had taken a step towards giving a little bit more of an RPG feeling.
Such as potions, enchantments. Oh, and a new dimension in the making that contained the first ever boss mob in Minecraft.
During that time, Marcus, or Notch, was experimenting with a new world generator style that was kind of like a sky island. And then together with all the adventure style features, Marcus really wanted to make a dragon.
This new Sky Island, now known as The End, was planned to be very different from the overworld. This dimension wouldn't even
That sky dimension was apparently first the end. Wow. That's insane right there.
have a sun. Therefore, The End would have no concept of time.
Sort of nothingness or empty space, like a void or something like that.
No, my head is empty.
Just like The End. By the way, what inspired that name?
It plays on Enderman and Ender Dragon, but it also symbolized like the end of the game.
So you could say that The End has become the Ender Dragon's world.
So it kind of became like the Enderman's world.
Or you could say that. Thanks.
The Enderman was added slightly based on a meme at that time was called the Slenderman, and it became the Enderman in Minecraft. And then to pair it up with...
So did you hear that, guys? Enderman is based off of Slenderman. That's insane right there. So the Enderman is based off of Slenderman. That's what he said.
The Enderman, the dragon, would also become the Ender Dragon.
Oh, I see. So, to summarise, the look of the Enderman inspired the End, and that inspired the design of the Ender Dragon.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait, so the way that the Enderman looked inspired them to create an Ender dimension, or is it? Oh, I think it was to create the Ender Dragon, I think.
I haven't thought about it earlier, but...
While the development team, seen here in this archive footage, worked on the design of the Ender Dragon, Jens focused on tying the mechanics of the End Dimension, End Portal, Ender Man and Ender Dragon together, until...
There was like a thread you could follow from start to the end, literally, with a boss fight, and then actually defeat or win the game.
Finally! Minecraft had an end goal.
So guys, Endermen were based off of Slenderman, and the Ender Dragon was based off of the Ender Dragon, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Ender Dragon was based off of the Enderman. And the Enderman was based off of Slenderman. So Slenderman technically came to the Ender Dragon.
One that was essential to the Minecraft experience.
Reaching the dragon and defeating it is not like a requirement for playing Minecraft.
Oh.
It's something you choose to do.
Very much is an aspirational feature.
It is a nice sort of book ending of a adventure, but then you can start a new adventure and it can be about something completely else.
Oh, that's nice. Now, here's a shocking revelation for you. Making a mob in Minecraft is tricky, especially a boss mob. And the first designs and gameplay mechanics were, well...
No, was it in the game?
It's just a sketch, but you're meant to be the expert here.
I think they came to a really great conclusion by making it like
Yeah, you can
Enderman.
go back and watch that replay of what the Ender Dragon looked like before it became. You can replay back and look at what the Ender Dragon looked like. You can go ahead if you want to. Apparently that's what the Ender Dragon looked like before they added all the cool colors in.
Black and purple and stuff, because it gave birth to like this really cool universe.
But there were never any problems with the final Ender Dragon battle. That was perfect from day one and admirably complex.
It was very simple.
Oh.
The dragon was just flying around and you had to shoot arrows at it. It was not very dynamic.
So making the fight with the Ender Dragon more interesting became the developers' #1 priority. Luckily, we had lots of ideas. Even more luckily, we also had some good ideas.
The end crystals that heal the dragon also became harder to remove because some of them are encased in these iron cages, and also the dragon would sometimes swoop down and land on the empty end portal to make you change your behavior a little bit.
Essentially, the dragon could now charge at you, throw fireballs, and use its dragon breath. Most of these design choices, textures and sounds are from the 2011 Adventure Update.
My favorite sound for the Ender Dragon is when you defeat it and you get that kind of crackle and the screen sort of distorts and you see all these cool effects.
So apparently, or something like that is what the original sound was, but then he just put cool filters into it, and that's how they created the Ender Dragon's death sound. That's insane right there.
I really, really enjoyed the poem. Minecraft creates a lot of precious memories, and that's one strong memory for me, definitely.
Beautifully put. Now we had a dragon with a name, a color scheme, sounds, soundtrack, and even its own dimension full of creepy weirdos. Did I say creepy weirdos? I meant handsome weirdos. Only when we were perfectly happy with the Ender Dragon were we willing to release it into the Minecraft wilds. We didn't just put it in the game because...
The deadline arrived.
Anyways, there you have it.
That's the story of the Ender Dragon, I think, and I'm not really discussing about the pillager. No. So if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. Bye.